Hey guys! Today's video is one of the most requested videos. I'm often asked, how do we prepare soil for succulents at home from scratch? The first thing I'm going to add to this potting mix is sand. So remember that the sand should be river sand and not beach sand, because the beach sand has a lot of salts, it is saline and it is not good for our plants. The reason we are adding sand is that it allows good drainage and is also able to give some structure to our potting mix. The second thing we're going to add is compost. This is old compost that I'm using. For succulent soil, you do not need fresh compost because they require only limited amount of nutrients. They do not require a lot of nutrients. You can also use well digested manure. The only thing is, whatever source of nutrient you decide to use, it should be well decomposed. The amount of compost that we're going to add is equal to the amount of sand. So they are in equal proportion. Now we have sand and compost 1:1 ratio. The third thing that I'm going to add to this mix is perlite. The amount of perlite is going to be half of what we've used for sand and compost. Perlite, this white thing, is something you must have observed in a lot of these expensive potting mix that you get online. It is nothing, it's basically a residue that comes along with volcanic eruption. It's very similar in composition to glass. It's not really glass though. It doesn't have edgy surface, it would not cut your hand. It's just that in composition it's similar to glass. The reason we're going to add perlite to this is because perlite has this unique ability of being able to absorb water but not have very high density. So over time, over several months and over several years, as you keep adding water and the soil starts to get old, the potting mix starts to get old, compactness starts happening. What is compactness? Is basically that the air spaces reduce, and as a result these tiny roots that succulents have, they start getting clogged with water. But what perlite does is that it's able to retain those cavities, those empty spaces, so it allows aeration in the potting mix and is also able to hold water, but it's not very dense. Now the last thing that I'm going to add to this mix is cocopeat. Cocopeat is essentially dried coconut fiber. So we're going to add water and it's going to double up in its size. The cocopeat could be also exactly as the same amount of perlite. We don't need a lot of cocopeat. The only thing is that most of the things that we added in this potting mix are going to not retain water for a very long time. We want cocopeat just so that the potting mix does not get dried up very quickly, holds water for some time but still doesn't clog it. Alright, so here we have all the basic things that we need for our potting mix. We have sand, which is going to help in drainage and give some structure to the potting mix. We have compost, which is going to be a good source of nutrient. It's well decomposed compost, you do not need fresh compost. We have perlite, which is going to keep the potting mix light and provide some aeration, avoid compactness. And lastly, we have cocopeat, which is going to keep the potting mix slightly moist, not very moist. Now we have all the four things together. We're going to just mix them. Before we move on, I want to mention, for some strange reason, I have observed a lot of nurseries and people mixing thermocol balls instead of perlite. I would request you to not do that, please. First of all, they don't work in the same way. Thermocol ball cannot maintain aeration in the potting mix because as it absorbs water, it also shrinks and it's not of any use. The bigger problem with adding thermocol ball to the potting mix is that, see, thermocol is essentially plastic. And once you add those tiny balls into your soil, that means you've contaminated your soil. And it's going to be extremely difficult to take those balls out of the soil. So it's just better that you don't add thermocol balls. If you don't have perlite, you can really skip it. It's better than contaminating the soil forever. Now I'm going to add this potting mix to these tiny pots and then plant the succulents. That's all I have for today's video. If you have questions, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Before I leave for today, check out this fantastic channel by Priya and her mother. It's called Hungry Vacations. This channel is all about gardening, healthy lifestyle and healthy cooking. A link to the channel will be on your screen. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.